Everybody is talking about Neopolis, Kokapet, financial district, and for good reason. These locations have become the center of Hyderabad's luxury real estate story. But luxury markets rarely become valuable because everyone notices them. They become valuable because a small group of buyers noticed them before everyone else did. Today's video is not about projects, it's not about clubhouses, not about brochures. It's about something much more fundamental: micro markets. The locations quietly evolving underneath Hyderabad's luxury landscape that could shape the next phase of premium living. Let's go beyond the obvious. Over the last 5 years, luxury attention in Hyderabad has become increasingly concentrated. Most premium launches, most marketing budgets, most social media conversations, most buyer discussions, they all point towards the same western corridor: Neopolis, Kokapet, Financial District. And while these markets continue to attract demand, concentration creates an interesting question. What happens when every buyer is looking at the same place? History shows that the next opportunities rarely emerge in isolation. They often emerge just outside the spotlight. And that's exactly where we are looking today. One of the biggest mistakes buyers make is treating large locations as if they're single markets. They are not. Narsingi isn't one market. Kokapet isn't one market. Similarly, Financial District isn't one market. Every major location contains smaller pockets with very different characteristics, different density profiles, different connectivity advantages, different future supply pipelines, and of course, different livability outcomes. And over time, those differences often determine which locations retain premiums and which locations struggle to sustain them. To understand Hyderabad's future luxury story, we need to zoom in. Let's begin with Puppalguda, a location that rarely dominates headlines but quietly benefits from many advantages luxury buyers already value. Unlike emerging corridors that still depend heavily on future infrastructure, Puppalguda already possesses a functioning ecosystem: schools, hospitals, retail, established residential communities. The area isn't selling a future vision, it's operating in the present. And that distinction matters because mature ecosystems often create a different kind of buyer confidence compared to purely growth driven locations. Luxury buyers often focus on future appreciation, but increasingly, many are asking a different question: how well does the location work today? Puppalguda's strength isn't dramatic skyline growth, its strength is ecosystem maturity, daily convenience, reduced uncertainty, and a residential character that has already been tested over time. As Hyderabad's luxury market matures, locations with proven functionality may begin receiving greater attention than locations built purely on anticipation. Next is Narsingi, one of Hyderabad's most misunderstood premium locations. Most discussions treat Narsingi as a single market. In reality, it behaves like several different markets operating under one name. Some pockets enjoy excellent access and strong urban integration. Others face future pressure from increasing density and supply. This is where location analysis becomes more important than project analysis because two projects in the same locality can deliver completely different long term experiences. One of the most important luxury questions is not what a location looks like today, it's what it feels like after 10 years. As more projects are completed, as more residents move in, as more vehicles use the same roads, some parts of Narsingi may evolve beautifully. Others could experience growing pressure from density. This is why luxury cannot be measured by launch day impressions alone. The real test begins after occupancy. And that's where micro market quality becomes critical. Most people think of Nanakramguda as an office destination, a commercial hub, a business district, and that's true. But there's another story unfolding here: a residential story, one driven by proximity. Because luxury is changing. Increasingly, affluent buyers are not chasing distance, they're chasing convenience. And Nanakramguda offers something that many premium buyers value more every year: time. For executives, entrepreneurs, and senior professionals, time is becoming one of the most valuable assets. Reducing commute times, increasing predictability, staying closer to work, restaurants, services, and social infrastructure. These benefits rarely appear in brochures, yet they influence daily quality of life more than many physical amenities. As Hyderabad continues expanding, locations that reduce friction may command increasing importance. And that's why Nanakramguda becomes particularly interesting. Tellapur may be the most debated location on this list. Supporters see opportunity, critics see distance, and both perspectives contain some truth. The question is not where Tellapur stands today. The question is where it stands after the next wave of infrastructure arrives. Because throughout urban history, infrastructure has often been the catalyst that reshapes residential demand patterns. Not marketing, not advertising, infrastructure. And Tellapur remains one of the locations where the story is still unfolding. One advantage Tellapur still possesses is something many luxury corridors no longer have: land. Large land parcels create flexibility: flexibility for future planning, flexibility for infrastructure, flexibility for larger integrated developments. That doesn't automatically guarantee premium appreciation, but it creates possibilities. And in real estate, optionality itself can become a valuable asset. The market's challenge is determining whether future execution can convert potential into reality. The goal of this video wasn't to identify the next Neopolis. That's the wrong question. The real objective was to understand how luxury markets evolve, sometimes through ecosystem maturity, sometimes through infrastructure expansion, sometimes through convenience, sometimes through scarcity, and often through a combination of all four. What makes these micro markets interesting is not certainty, it's possibility. Because the most important shifts in real estate often begin long before they become obvious. Projects will come and go, builders will launch new towers, marketing narratives will constantly change, but location fundamentals tend to compound over decades. And that's why sophisticated buyers study markets before they study projects. Puppalguda reminds us of ecosystem maturity. Narsingi reminds us that not every pocket evolves equally. Nanakramguda tells us that time itself can be a luxury, and Tellapur reminds us that future potential often depends on infrastructure expansion and execution. The next chapter of Hyderabad's luxury story may not be written by a single district. It may emerge from several micro markets evolving quietly in parallel. Perhaps the biggest takeaway is this: luxury real estate isn't just about evaluating projects, it's about learning how to read locations, ecosystems, and long term market shifts. And that is the mindset Gated Decode seeks to cultivate.